Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fitness Society podcast. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Wow. Thank you.
All right, we don't got a ton of battery life, so what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 5 of the Connor and Brody Go Deep podcast. We're lacking the Brody. We replaced him with Sid Patel.
Hello.
Sid, you got more than hello. Sid is an FIT student studying physics.
Astrophysics.
And what are you minoring in?
Physics and math.
Physics and math. Sid is a master of many things. He has certificates in just about everything, and he's the man in the background of Fitness Society, helping me figure out what the hell's going on when I lose track of what the hell's going on. So Sid, I'd like you to tell them a few of your most impressive certificates, maybe a little bit of skydiving. How'd that come about?
Nothing much. I was just bored during summer, and I was like,
might as well get a certificate?
Might as well get a certificate and like
certified skydiver, certified yoga instructor. What else? You just posted about you finished your intro to astronaut training or something?
Yeah, I did my basic astronaut training back in 2014, I guess. Yeah, 2014.
Okay. And how did you come about coming to America?
So, like, when I was little, I always wondered, I always looked at the stars, space, all that stuff. And then I was like, when I was 13, I took a part in a science fair back in India, and they were like, the judges were like, you know what do you want to be? And I was like, an astrophysicist or someone who studies space.
At 13?
Yeah. And then they were like, what college you want to go to? Do you have anything in mind? I was like, not really. Let me just go around, Google it. And then I was like, there is not more stuff in India, so might as well just plan for something. And then in 2014, I came to US for the space camp and the astronaut training. And then I was like...
And now is that, you met Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Yep.
And that's how you met him?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about when you met him.
So it was it goes back to India. We were in the science fair, and then I met him over there. And then I was like, hey, I want to be an astrophysicist or someone who studies space.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's cool. And we had a talk about there. And then back to 2014, a year later, when I first met him, I was at the space camp. He was coincidentally over there. And then he was like, I was like, what if he actually remembers me? And then he saw me.
He did, right?
Yeah, he did.
That's crazy.
That was crazy.
When I told Brody that you met him, his jaw dropped. He was like, he met him? And I don't think he ever asked you about it, but he was all excited. Did you get to talk to him a lot? What's he like in person?
I mean, he is super cool. We have talked about, obviously, the Neil deGrasse Tyson who a monster who kicks every astronomical stuff out.
Yeah.
And a daydream for, a day nightmare for every astronomer over here. But we just talked about how I can be a good astronomer, or what part I should do, or how to research, or just some brainstorming with him.
Yeah, for how smart he is, he's very laid back, and he's very cool to listen to on the Joe Rogan podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we know a little bit about who Sid is and where Sid came from, what is space?
Okay, what is space? So let's just imagine this. Imagine a whole blanket, a black bed sheet,
Okay.
size of America, a whole continent, and place a piece of grains on each state.
Okay.
That's how big is a space, and that's how empty the space is. And
so space is actually very, very empty.
Space is actually very, very empty.
So when you look up at all the stars and you're seeing all the stars and they look so close together, they're actually what? How far apart?
So
is there an average out there of how close things are together?
Okay, so imagine our Milky Way galaxy.
Okay.
If we like measure it in diameter, it's a whole light year away.
And how far is a light year?
So basically what light year is, it's how much time it takes for light to travel from one point to another. So the speed of light is as fast as anything can go. It's like 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second, like not kilometers, not miles per hour, it's meters per second. And light year is basically how much a light can travel in an year. So imagine in 70s we sent a Voyager spacecraft out,
Okay.
and it's right now 22 light hours away.
Light hours?
Light hours.
So it's not even a light year away yet.
It's not even a light year away.
It's still going though.
It's still going.
But it's not even, is there a light day? Like, does it have to go one day first?
Yep. So still it's like 22 light years away. Oh, light hours away.
So it hasn't even made it a full light day away.
Yep. And we sent that in like what? I believe 1974, I think.
So it's like traveling as slow as molasses compared to like light.
Yep. And that's the farthest object we ever sent out.
But it's still going.
Yeah, it's still going.
Now what is it? What's maintaining it? What's keeping it going?
So it's like just a regular fuel. Like we can't control it anymore, but like it's still going. That's what the main mission was. Like that's why it's called Voyager, that it's going in the deep space.
Now is it like solar powered? Like what's keeping it fueled since then?
So it has some of its basic fuel, and from, if I'm not wrong, I think it has some solar panel and it has some sail, which like would push it, or
So like a little boost and then it like kind of shuts down.
yeah,
and
it's like
cruises.
it's just cruising, and then the gravity obviously plays a role in like pushing it, like it's in the deep space, so it's keep going. That's what we are actually like. It doesn't have this fixed path. It's like just go.
Now is it like as big as a building or is it like a pod? Is it
It's like a small pod, like probably size of our car.
okay?
A small.
So just enough to like, do we still do we still connect to it?
I think the last time we got data from it was like a decade ago. Like after that, it hasn't sent anything. But like we can still like we can't communicate from what I believe, but it's like still like we can see, oh, it's over here.
I feel like there's so many parts that go into space travel because like, okay, we can't quite go fast enough, but then once we go too far, we're not smart enough yet to connect with it. Like we can't contact back and forth. I mean, fuel storage, food storage. There's so many things that like, how do you store food for a 5-year trip? How do you store fuel? Like, do they have a way to like for Mars? Like,
So there is one study which actually says that how about we send robots to the Mars, and they would actually make fuel from the Martian atmosphere. They would use the methane over there to make fuel.
Okay.
And once our spacecraft reaches over there, so like actually do a 3-part project. First goes there and setups like it takes all the equipment to build a habitat over there. Second one would actually be the generator for the fuel, and it would keep generating the fuel. And the third part would be the actual humans
okay, so then once we got there, we already have fuel
to come back.
and
Also to use the fuel like
other
to
things.
to generate the living supply
yeah.
on the Martian atmosphere.
Very cool. Very, very, very cool. It's crazy to even think about. Now, is that all Elon Musk doing, or is NASA helping?
I mean, yeah, NASA has the main plan eventually, but
Okay, so it isn't SpaceX.
like SpaceX already has like its step way forward ahead than NASA. NASA is still focusing on moon, but Elon Musk being an Elon
Which
Musk.
seems silly to me. Like, what if we've proven we can land on the moon, and we've proven there's nothing there, and it's just the moon, which a moon is what, like a dead planet essentially, or a very small planet?
I probably won't say it as a planet. It's like a small satellite, like
It's like an asteroid kind of thing.
kinda. Yeah.
So, like, what is the purpose? Like, why is the moon such a big objective?
So, okay, anything in space science or like astrophysics, it's like we actually don't know how the stuff works unless we like go back in the history. So like how the earth formed, like there are some hypotheses, and then we need to actually we need to see the stuff around at that point on like how it actually made.
So we almost have to go to the moon to dig around, to test some things,
Yep.
to see more of what it is,
Yep.
where it came from, more or less than just like, oh, it's a tiny planet that's dead and we don't have any use of it.
Yeah, I mean, so imagine like if we remove the moon from Earth right now, like from our system right now, that would cause a big trouble on Earth. Like,
would there be waves no longer? Like,
there would be like a crazy amount of tidal forces acting on.
Really?
Like,
if you took it away?
If we took it away, because it helps in maintaining the tidal forces. Also, it helps like with the rotation of the Earth. Like sun, like obviously it's playing its part, but there is also moon.
It's almost like a balancing act.
Yeah.
Like sun, moon.
Yep. Also Jupiter.
Sorry. Earth.
Earth.
Sun.
Earth. Moon.
But the sun isn't the center of our galaxy, is it?
No. So
That's a lie.
that's a lie.
And
So-
Earth isn't the center of the galaxy either.
No, obviously. So imagine like, have you seen this picture of like our galaxy? Like,
Yeah, we've looked at stuff like that.
yeah. So have you seen like the arm? Like imagine like it's a spiral.
Okay.
So Earth is basically in like at the our solar system is like at the end of a spiral. Like it's not even close to the center.
Okay. And not to scare everyone, but what's the center of our galaxy?
So it's the Sag A star, the Sagittarius A star. It's like a black hole. It's an actual black
We're
hole.
all going to die. There's
We're
a
all
black
gonna
hole
die.
in the center of the galaxy.
It's an active black hole in the center of our galaxy.
Okay. But how long would it take us to reach the center of that black hole? Give everyone a little bit of relaxation in there.
Probably. We are not going to reach there.
Yeah.
No, not soon.
And also, to debunk this one, is our sun going to burn out?
Yep. So actually,
Yep, but how soon?
not soon. Okay, so sun is not eventually going to burn out. Before sun burns out, sun would expand itself.
Okay.
So sun,
In other words, incinerating us.
yep. So sun would actually eat us.
Okay.
So sun, being a sun right now, from what our study says, when it would like actually be at the end of its lifetime. So
Yeah.
any star, when they are called star, when they are on a main sequence.
Okay.
So right now our sun is on a main sequence. So what happens is like when the fuel inside of the sun, which is hydrogen, it burns out, it starts burning helium because hydrogen fused into helium to give us the light.
Okay.
So when the helium starts burning, like completely, it would like actually start expanding because the
Like a
pressure.
supernova?
Not supernova yet. Supernova is like for supermassive stars. Our
Okay.
sun is not that massive to be a supernova or to be a black hole.
It's crazy that, like, in our galaxy, in our world, in our mind, the sun is so huge. It's massive. It keeps us alive. But like things you've told me in the past, like on a big scale of things, our sun is also tiny.
Our sun is nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. Just imagine like, imagine if my hand is like a main sequence. Actually, the main sequence looks like this.
Okay.
Our sun is right over here, like on this part. And
so it's like tiny, just speck of it.
it's just tiny. I mean, we can put some like a diagram over here,
Yeah.
which
We'll
shows.
do that. We'll do that
yeah.
in the next one. We'll bring it out. Or are you
Yeah.
gonna put it on?
Yeah,
there?
I can put it on there.
Okay. Yeah. Show how small our sun is compared to like other suns.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. And your TikTok about the galaxy, the red dot one, how far away was that?
So it's 13.4 billion light years away.
Crazy. And our Voyager hasn't even gone 22
Light hours.
light hours. Wow. That is crazy.
So, okay, imagine if Voyager is capable to send a signal. It sends a signal. It would take the signal to reach us 22 hours, basically. That's what it means.
Okay. Wow. All right. So, the final question for today. So, we have a good clickbait title. Do aliens exist? Wait. To your knowledge, has there been any contact with aliens?
Probably not. Because
What about Area 51?
oh, that's something scary. Can I get deported for that? So, okay. So from what I believe or like what I studied, it's like imagine if aliens are there.
Okay.
We don't have if we can't find them, it's because we don't have enough capability.
We're essentially not smart enough to
Yeah,
find them.
we are not smart enough to find them,
Okay.
or they are way too far away that neither they can contact us or we can contact them.
And I think Neil deGrasse Tyson says this, but if they were to find us, that shows you how smart they are, and we don't want them to find us.
Yeah, we don't want them to find us. Imagine if someone okay, so the closest planet to us, from what I'm not wrong, from what I remember, it's 4 light years away.
And that's the closest one that's hypothetically inhabited
Yeah,
for light years.
yeah.
You don't know what miles that is? How many miles is 4 light years?
That's a pretty big math.
Let's ask Google.
I can do the math.
Oh, you don't have to do that. Let's see. Pending. One light year is 5.879 times 7 times 10 to the 12th power miles.
Okay.
6 trillion miles. 6 trillion. So the closest possibly inhabited planet is 24 trillion miles away.
Yep.
Wow. I mean, how many miles is the Earth wide?
I think Earth's diameter is around 6,400 kilometer.
In miles, it is 7,917 miles around. So, yeah, essentially we're a speck of dust floating in space. So, not so much aliens, but maybe some kind of inhabitants.
Yep. So
They would be aliens, I guess.
So when a scientist talks about a alien species, it's anything which is living
Which is living in outer space.
and outer space. So basically, it can be a amoeba living outer space. That can be
Yeah.
an alien. That's
Yeah.
what they're considered as an alien. And yeah,
Don't they clean space shuttles and everything? Isn't there really big protocols for cleaning this stuff before sending it into space?
yep. So anything going to the space needs to be in the deep room, a deep clean room. And when someone enters that facility, they have to get air wiped, and you have to wear all the
And
protection.
that's so you don't cross contaminate.
Yeah,
right?
so you cross contaminate. So you don't send something off of you to the space probe.
Hey, we found the flu on the moon. On the moon, what the hell?
Oh, there's COVID on the moon.
Yeah, COVID on the moon. That's a big thing in nuclear was cross contamination, because you can't see contamination, but you can get it all over yourself. It was funny. You'd be you think you had a good jump into containment, and you come out and you get into the body scan thing, and your whole body comes up red, and you're covered in contamination, and it's you can't see it though. You're oh shit, so you got to go shower, you got to go spray down. They have all these wipes you do, and worst case scenario, you lose your clothes. Hopefully that's the worst case scenario. I've lost my clothes quite a few times.
You're still alive.
I'm still alive. I made it. No glow. I'm not glowing or anything. Made it through my 2 years of nukes, and I'm perfectly fine.
Imagine you having a third arm just popping out of somewhere over here.
All of a sudden, it just grows out.
Yeah.
And then I would be the alien.
Yeah. You'll be oh, then you can tell us what's actually in Area 51.
Ooh, yeah, they might put me there. Is there any scientific science theory what's in Area 51? Or is it completely just conspiracy theorist people?
probably
Conspiracy theorists.
theory.
Yeah, they're kind of nuts. But you know what's weird about conspiracy theories? Like, you're like, yeah, that's crazy. And then you start reading it and you're like, well, like, maybe it's not so crazy. Like, you start buying into it almost. Remember, like, midst of COVID, I was reading, like, I was like deep diving Facebook on night shift, like already tired. And I was reading like conspiracies about like what COVID is. And I remember one night I had like 4 phone calls. Well, first I read this thing about how like they're shutting down the grid and like one world power. And, you know, you're not used to not getting service on your phone. And I mean, like, why, like, randomly. One night I had like 4 calls just like beep, just like go, they didn't go anywhere. And I'm like this, oh shit, maybe that Facebook post was right. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, like they're right. And then my call went through and I was like, oh, good. But yeah, it's crazy when you start reading that stuff and rabbit holing and going page to page, especially like on YouTube, because it's like suggested for you. And then like, so you watch one on the one world power, then you're like, ooh, well, this guy says this. And you watch that one, and you watch that one, and then you watch that one.
I mean, yeah, it's something which you guys talked on your social media podcast, the last one you guys posted.
Yeah,
it's
how fast it can travel. It's crazy. And it'll be interesting to see what the next few years do about social media. I mean, they're already putting like, I know it pisses everyone off when they put like the flags and stuff on the posts. And it's like, you know, they're taking away freedom of speech. But at the same time, there has to be some control, because if you and I were able to go on there, blow our account up to millions of followers, and then be like, aliens are here, like, it's going to travel, and our camera just died. So we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
But it would cause a lot of disruption if you could really scale it to that extent.
Yep. It's better than at least dying from like a priest on saying something right.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff today. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and like the video. Leave a comment what you want to hear about next time. Peace out.